The battery is one of the most important parts of your e-bike, and let's be honest, one of the single most expensive parts as well. So it makes sense that you want to get as much life out of it as possible. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a few tips and best practices on how you can get the most life and performance out of your Rambo Bikes battery. So behind me here on the whiteboard, I've drawn a very rough representation of the relationship between the cycle life, the battery, and how many times you can charge and discharge it, use it to run your bike, versus how much of it you use when you're riding, the depth of discharge. So as you can see up here, all the way, you could potentially get maybe 3,000 cycle lives out of a 30 amp hour battery, we'll say. Now, this number is really, again, just kind of a rough representation of it. We can post links to some of the sources that we've used to. Now, if you're constantly running your battery down to cut off, withstanding all other conditions, you're going to cut down significantly the number of cycles that you can run through your battery. Conversely, if you're barely using any of your battery at a time, you're going to be able to cycle it more often. Now, obviously, we want to get the maximum amount of life out of our battery, but we have to get where we're going. Ideally, the best way to get the maximum amount of performance and also cycle life out of your battery is to avoid running it all the way down to voltage cutoff. Ideally, you'd want to finish with about 20 to 30% of life still in the battery. Now, don't strand yourself out in the woods, obviously. I don't think anybody wants that. But where possible, just try to make sure you leave a little bit in the tank. Another important thing to consider is that you want to minimize how much you lug the bike, but you could be giving it full throttle up the hill, and it could still be kind of putzing along as best as it can under the weight of you, under the weight of anything else you're carrying. And especially in hot temperatures, you really want to minimize that as much as possible. When you're doing that, you're forcing the motors to command full draw out of your battery, as much as the battery will be allowed to draw. That's another thing that's going to diminish the amount of cycles that you can run through the battery. If you're doing these full throttle, low RPM, lugging climbs up hills, that's going to be stressing the cells. You're going to see an increase and things like voltage sag. It's just going to make the cells a lot less efficient at transferring the energy when it's demanded by the motors. And really, pedaling input anywhere you can is going to help increase the range of your battery and reduce the stress on the battery, because the mechanical energy you're providing is going to be assisting the mechanical energy the motor is going to be putting to the wheels, meaning that the motor will require less draw from the battery to produce the same amount of rotation. So the primary takeaways from this would be that when we're using the bike, discharging the battery, we don't necessarily want to hammer the power all the way down to 100%. In reality, you don't want to demand maximum draw at all times. Now, of course, sometimes you're just going to need the power you need. But wherever possible, you're going to increase your cycle life the more that you effectively keep in the tank at the end of your ride. So if you can, try to aim to have about 20 to 30% left in the battery by the end of your ride. When it does come time to charge the battery after your ride, try to give the battery some time to cool down. If you can, try to let the battery reach an ambient temperature, and maybe if the battery is kept in a shed and you live in a hot climate or an extremely cold climate, consider maybe bringing that in the house. A temperature that's really comfortable for you within reason is going to be better for that battery to charge. It's going to produce less stress for the cells. Now that is a good rule of thumb for daily use. Now, if say you're going to store this bike for a few days to weeks or even longer, we need to consider how we're going to take care of the battery in those situations. Now, a lot of us will just mainly use our bikes during hunting season, occasionally get them out during the summer. And if that's the case for you, the goal to take care of the battery as best as possible, the best thing that you can do for your battery in a situation where you're going to need to store it for a longer period of time is to actually take it off of the bike, and to store it roughly around 40 to 60% of its total capacity. Storing the battery at 100% charge is really not ideal. It may be convenient for if you want to take the bike out later, just for a ride. But if you are planning on storing the bike for a longer period of time, really having it down to that 40 to 60% state of charge is going to be more ideal. It's going to give the battery some range for it to naturally drift down in charge, but it's also not going to be so high that the internal components of the battery start to degrade over time. You may not notice it in your riding, but it will lead to lower cycle lives and just an overall decreased life and quality of the battery. The number one most important rule, if you take anything away from this regarding battery care with your bike, is to remove it before you transport it. I cannot stress that enough. If you put the bike in a bike carrier or maybe the back of your truck, the vibrations from traveling down the road can actually shake the battery loose from time to time. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen every time, but it is possible. The vibrations from traveling at road or highway speeds are very different from the types of impacts, bumps, and other vibrations that you're going to experience when traveling on the bike with its own suspension, with its own tires. It's just not what that battery was designed to withstand. So in theory, it should hold on, but theory is not something you want to lean on in practice. You'll see it written in the manual, just simply the best way to protect your battery outside of anything else. Remove it before you travel down the road with it.